Well, hello and welcome to the stream today. It's another interesting stream. Today I will redeem myself from all the evil that was caused upon me. The last flight we did into Lukla. Okay, so looking at the plan of action today, over here is my plan on Sky Vector. So my plan is to head from Bagdora International. Apparently it's an Air Force base, so in the sim it's a base. So from Bagdora International, we'll fly westbound towards that one, Biratnagar, NDB, and then fly northwesterly till Lima Delta Alpha, which is Lamidada, and then from Lamidada we'll follow the valley once again into Lukla. Okay. Now, this is a little bit of of a longer flight, and I did do some practice approaches. Let's just say they were quite interesting. Right. So, plan of action, once we get to about this little corner here, we shall start heading straight towards the airport. And past this point, honestly, there's no point of return. There's nowhere else you're going to go. You just have to land. So this is where we're going to make the decision, about a mile out. Okay, I'm just going to bring up the navlog just so we can have that over here, just in case we need to put it into the flight plan and just for general tracking. Okay, right, and then hopping on into the sim, let's see what I've set up for today. Okay, so if you have a look here, welcome to this. Now, according to, I have this set up for live weather. So right now, if you remember seeing on the Sky Vector, there was a segment for thunder showers in the general area. That was that blue thing that was hanging around. Okay, so we'll see how live weather goes, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to continue if the weather is still like that. If we cannot, I'll just switch it to normal weather, so to say. Okay, and then if I switch it to normal weather, well, then we won't have any issues, and then we can just continue the flight as normal, if that makes any sense. Okay, but otherwise, a beautiful looking aircraft here. It is the Grand Caravan with a Summit Tour livery by Asobo. And we're just gonna get started and head towards Lukla. Okay. Righty, into the cockpit. Okay, well, it's not looking too bad, but we'll see how it goes further down. Okay, so before we start, I'm just going to make sure we have our flight plan in. Or I should actually do that after we start. Okay. Right, so fuel comes on. Master can come on, nav and beacon lights can come on, and then turn our fuel pump on, mission on, avionics 1 on, and then we'll start this aircraft up. Okay, there we go. Oh, wrong lever. There we go. Okay, looks like a good start. We can start it off normal, and then I'm gonna go prop full forward. Oh, wrong lever. There we go, prop full forward, mixture to high idle. And then our generator should be on. There we go. Then avionics can come on. Right, now this is a little bit of a challenge because once again, as I said, the weather, as you can see outside, looks quite obviously something's wrong with it. And on the next ride here, let's just have a look. Okay, looks like it's glitching out again. Okay, but it's fine. You should see a bunch of storms somewhere around here. But that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up the flight plan here, and then we're going to plug in all the waypoints and make sure everything is happening. So from the Air Force base here, we're going to fly to Lima, India, which is 371, and I'm going to plug that into my flight plan. So Lima, India. There we go. Then NDB, we're looking for the NDB Nepal, yep. And then from Lima, India, it shall be on to Lima Delta Alpha. So Lima Delta Alpha. Okay, NDB Nepal. There we go. And now everything is looking sweet. So we have everything set up exactly how I like it, and the aircraft is all set up nice and good. Okay, I know there's a little bit of thunder in the area, but as we said, if the live weather is not working for us, then we shall just switch to normal weather, and hopefully then it will be working and everything will be alright. Okay, otherwise flight plan is set up, and distance looks about right. Let's just have a look at the plan. Yep, looks pretty much exactly what we want. Plan of action is to take off here, runway, it's the northerly runway, I think it's 35, and then it'll be a left-hand turn routing westbound, and we're climbing to 2000 this time, just to give ourselves some extra what's the word, extra filter, or extra time to get, what's the word, I mean, you know what I mean, extra space or extra altitude, just so we do not end up flying into the mountains like we did last time. Okay, and please let me know if the volume's alright. I'm not sure how it is, but on my end it sounds a little bit fine. Anyway, okay, so we've set everything up. Our QNH at the moment is 1010, which is set about 440, and transition altitude will be 3000 feet. We'll just make it 2500 just to be safe. Okay, I'm gonna set 12,000 or 2000, and I'm gonna have the flight director, actually I'm gonna turn it off. We'll just try and do this the old school way. And our speeds are set up. Okay, I'm gonna set my flaps 20 degrees for takeoff and turn my inertia separator on. Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Clear to the left, clear to the right, flaps are down. I'm gonna taxi runway 35 for departure. I just want to confirm the wind, because I know this thing is a little bit iffy when it comes to winds, so I want to make sure that wind is right where we want it. So yeah, wind is northerly. Okay, so at this point I'll probably be making a radio call, but because we're offline today, I'm not gonna make that radio call. Okay, parking brake can come off. I need my feet on the rudder, on the pedals. Okay, clear left, clear right. Let us start. Parking brake is on now, is it? Okay, we turn it off. There we go. Well, plan of action today is, at least if I cannot get the landing in, I don't want. I'll just rather divert than crash into the mountains. So hopefully I'll get it first time, and then we can see what happens afterwards. Okay, clear to the right, clear to the left. We don't need the whole runway, but in the interest of safety, we're going to take as much runway as possible. Yeah, there's nothing more useless than runway behind you, and it's something you don't want to learn the hard way. You want to learn it the easy way, so to say. Okay, I turn my landing lights and strobes on. Make sure my flaps are set, trims are neutral, and set for takeoff. And lights, camera, transponder, I'm gonna set to Alt. And it's clear down the runway and clear on final. Okay, so it's pretty much sea level, so we're gonna get one hell of a climb out of here. So this is just a scenario, so we're just gonna assume we're flying for the military, or the, what's it called, the Nepalese military, and we're transporting some secret stuff into Lukla. So that's what we're gonna assume is going down today. Okay, full flaps, everything's looking good. I'm gonna grab the brakes and set my takeoff thrust. Okay, ready? Fingers crossed, this time will be the best time. Oh, this one will be the best one. Okay, here we go. Okay, bring my power up. Okay, takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed's alive, and we're looking for 70. Yeah, there's 70, rotate. Yeah, a positive rate. Oh, yeah, our gear is not retractable in this situation. If it were, I would go gear up then. There's the terminal building off to the left. And we're good to go. Okay, I'm gonna pitch for about 90 knots. Let's make it 100 knots. There's quite a bit of lightning going on here. Okay, we're above a safe altitude. I can go flaps up. And I'll turn the lights off. Okay, I can start our turn westbound. And I'm just gonna have my wing light on just in case we encounter a bit of icing. It's not that I'm expecting to, but I mean, you know how it is. You just have to be constantly checking these things. I mean, outside air temperature is quite high, so I don't expect to see any icing, but you never know, eh? Okay, everything is looking good. Beautiful looking aircraft. I wouldn't hesitate to climb. Oh, jeez. That scared me. Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to get on board this for flights. But it's a beautiful looking aeroplane. Okay, so I'm gonna pitch about 8 to 10 degrees. Nose up. That's gonna give me the best. It's gonna give me the speed that I'm looking for, about 100 knots. And I see my nose is pitching up already. And I still have my foot on the pedal to keep that ball or that little trapezium coordinated. And we are in the soup, full IMC. So we're just gonna rely on the instruments for now. Hopefully we'll get on top of this very soon. Otherwise I'm getting very anxious because I do not know what to expect. Because you know you'll go and practice, and literally as soon as you turn it on to go out and do it for the, do the real thing, you can mess up so bad. Okay, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's go back to terrain. Okay, looks like my avionics are glitching out again, and I know this is in beta, or it's not yet a full product. But I definitely need to see these mountains, so I don't know why it's not showing me the terrain. I think I'll just turn on the synthetic vision here. So PFD options, I'm gonna have the little synthetic vision terrain on, just so we have an idea of what's going on around us, because we lack that here. You would have thought it would have been the best place to find all this, but for some reason it's not. So we roll with the flow. Okay, now we'll see how the weather is going as we approach the mountains. If it is still IMC, well, of course you wouldn't be flying out here if the weather was like that. So we'll just switch to normal weather and then make a plan later. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Jesus freaking! What the hell was that? We struck by lightning. Oof. Okay, there's no turbulence, so I'm guessing the thunder showers are not necessarily thunder showers, but they are wannabe thunder showers. Okay, looks like we're coming above the top here. And that is looking like quite the sight. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, looks like the weather towards where we're going, that way, might be a little bit better. But I'll check the actual weather in Lukla, because I know the game has its own, what should I say? It has its own little weather system, because it's simulated, so it has some weather that it creates on its own based on the terrain and the current time of day and the temperature. So it might not be, there's usually small discrepancies, sometimes very large discrepancies between what's actually happening outside and what's happening at the actual airport. So it is something to take into consideration. Righty. It doesn't look like much is happening right now. The exciting part is coming later. Okay, and I just have the POH open here for the Cessna Grand Caravan, and I'm looking through to see if the numbers that are actually happening here are what I'm getting in the actual in the manual. Okay, because usually these things there's very big discrepancies in some of the aircraft in FS 2020. And the aircraft look amazing, but they're not in particular amazing. Okay, I'm just going to turn the autopilot on quickly just so I can check. Okay, so nav, autopilot, there we go, and I can quickly check here. Righty, I can already see the mountains peeking through the clouds there. That is not something you want to see when you're flying. But let's quickly get the numbers here. Now, this is quite a big POH. Okay, power settings for climb 445. Okay, it's taking quite a while to find it, eh? Okay, apparently 104 knots is the best climb speed. I'm gonna bring it back to 104 knots, and then maximum torque is 1865 pounds, and maximum ITT should not go higher than 740. Okay. All right. Then we should be turning our pitot heat on, but we are not in any visible moisture, so to say. And yeah, it definitely doesn't look good up in the mountains there. It looks like it's gonna be quite interesting. It is quite interesting, but we'll see how it goes. As I said, if it doesn't work out, there's nothing stopping me from taking it back to chill weather, and we'll make a plan afterwards. But I'm definitely not not liking this. It's quite interesting, eh? It's quite interesting, this. Okay. Beautiful views. You can actually see the Himalayas quite clear. I'm not sure which one is Everest, but it's somewhere in here. I won't lie, I do not know which one it is, but we'll see when we get closer. Okay, I got the cruise performance chart out. It's actually quite a nice view. I won't lie. But yeah, I have the cruise performance chart out, and we'll just make sure everything is looking good when we get to 12,000. So according to this, we're about 500 feet to level off. We should have a fuel flow of about, outside air temperature is about 10 degrees, 7 degrees. So we should have a torque of about 1360. Yeah, 1360, and fuel for about 300 knots, and we should have okay, there's altitude. We should have a TAS of about 150-ish. Okay, so I'm just gonna let her continue, and then we will see how she goes after this. No, actually, we should have a TAS of about 150 knots. We cannot exceed maximum cruise torque, and we also cannot exceed 740 on the ITT. Okay. So let's see. It's about 12,000. Okay, no, we expect 1520 and then 333 and then 164. Okay. So I'm gonna bring my torque down to 1520 on this little gauge here on the MFD. So 1520. And then bring my prop RPM down to 1750. And my torque is rising already. So I'm going to bring it down to 1520. A little bit high. Bringing it down. A little bit more. It takes a while to dial in. There we go. That's 15. Okay, it's 1523. Okay, there's. Jeez. 1520. Okay. And proper RPM is 1750. And our TAS is a little bit higher than we expected. It's 170, but it should settle in about 160-ish. ITT is looking good, and weather is not looking good where we're going. Okay, we might just get away with it, but once we overhead that, we're going to fly westbound, and then we'll see how it looks down the valley. Otherwise, it's going to be quite interesting. Going in with the thunderstorms, it's going to be very interesting. Let's just have a look at some views outside. Okay, I think the autopilot has had enough fun. Okay, yeah, I see. There's definitely that doesn't look good. So we shouldn't have gone in the first place, but we're still going. We don't care. We're going. Okay, I'm just gonna reset this avionics because it looks like the avionics are being funny again. So I'm just gonna turn them off and back on. And re-engage the autopilot. And quickly check. Because it's not showing me terrain at all. What is going on? Oh yeah, terrain display on. Let's do relative terrain scale. She'll turn that on as well. Okay, so it is showing the scale, but I don't see the terrain anywhere. It should be showing me this terrain. And I've still failed to find the inset here. It should be under PFD options. It should be an inset option to bring up the little inset here to the left. But I don't see it anywhere. So I'm guessing actually I might need to revert to the normal Garmin because this is an experimental version and it is not working. Okay. Right. Still a beautiful... Oh wow, the lightning came out of nowhere as usual. That's what I love about this game. There'll be times you're just flying out in the middle of nowhere and there's just a thin layer of clouds like it is just below here, and you'll see lightning just striking up here in the middle of nowhere. In some cases actually it might be literally no clouds, it's just clear day and there's a little bit of moisture. Oh, what's happening? Can you believe my luck? Can you believe my luck? Wow. Wow. Oh, so the sim just crashed on me. Welcome to the stream. The sim literally just crashed right now. I do not know what the hell is happening, but I'm gonna have to put on some sick beats. I do have some sick beats in the works though. I haven't actually put out anything over the past few weeks, so well, yeah, let's just try and get that sorted out. But we had made some good progress, so we won't have to wait. We won't have to take off from the same airport. We'll just take off from a different airport, and then once we are done with that, no, once we take off, we'll just continue on the journey. Okay, so that's the plan of action. Anyway, just listen to some chill beats in the meantime as I make something happen here. Make sure the sim doesn't crash on me again.
Nsozinze njemba abana bajosinze mwemba Mosinje mbera sagala wasi sembera sembera yongera sembera yongera twatandike no eno mukafufuwe twali mu butufufe twawona bafufudde sawa ya tendo fena kati tufuddeyo wenawe tukudde nnyo nsozi nze njemba abana bajosi nze mwemba mosinje mbera sagala wasi sembera sembera yongera sembera yongera sembera yongera sembera yongera sembera sembera yongera Jetugenda fenna tetumanyi gyetukoma jetugenda yonna tetumanyi wetulidda songa abayo ensi yakyuka songa lero teri kutuuka byetwesunga byonna byatuukira byetwaleeta bonna tebajjukira anti amalo twaba mu byalo ne tukomawo anti amalo twaba mu byalo ne tukomawo nti wonna twabawana balagalo nti wonna batuswaza nti bakola nnyo anti amalo twaba mu byalo ne tukomawo anti amalo twaba mu byalo ne tukomawo Baby owange talimba limba 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 baby owange gwe nalinda linda 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 baby owange gwe nasima sima 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 baby owange akayimba yimba 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 bonna bonna wabamalayo nti bonna bonna wabalekayo abaana b'ensozi tebakutuuka abaana b'ensozi tebakusuka nti bonna bonna wabamalayo bonna bonna wabalekayo abaana basite tebakuswama abaana bavire tebalituuka boli 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 ye boli 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 ye boli ye boli 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 ye boli boli boli.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining in the meantime, welcome to the stream. The sim just crashed on me about 5 minutes ago. In the middle of the flight, it just decided, you know what, this ain't gonna work, so it crashed on me. So right now I'm trying to get everything started again, and hopefully everything will be started in the next 5 minutes or so. And then we can get back to what it was we were doing. Okay, in the meantime, I was playing a little bit of some chill music, just for you guys to enjoy, if that makes any sense. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, but for now, this is very disappointing. I cannot believe this is happening to me right now, because everything went very smooth. All the tests that I've been doing during the day were very smooth, and well, here we are now. Okay, otherwise I'm just gonna leave you guys to listen to this music in the meantime.
You told me, baby, that I'm your number one. But now I know everybody you talking to, I know all the people that fooling you, I know about them all. But baby, I go wait for you. Baby, I go wait for you. I go wait for you. Yeah. Baby, I go wait for you. You told me that I am your number one. You told me that I am your only one. You told me that I am your number one. You told me that I am your only one. But baby, I go wait for you. Baby, I go wait for you. Oh, I go wait for you. Yeah, baby, I go wait for you.
Well, if ever I had good news, it was right now, and not a better time than right now. Okay, Looks like I got the sim up and running again, and I'm just going to revise the plan of action. So if we have a look here now, the new plan of action is to go from a small airport to the south, and we're going to fly via Lima Delta Alpha towards Lukla. So let's just get that started as soon as possible and not waste any more time, seeing as we've already been sitting here for a while. Righty. Well, everything is looking good now. I'm just gonna get her back into the air. So I turned off all the add-ons. I don't know if there was a specific add-on that caused the crash, but that I'll investigate later. And we're climbing to 12,000, so flight level 120. And everything is looking good, eh? Okay, let's get this show back on the road. So flight level 120, and this is on local weather, so it's not sim weather or anything, or live weather, which is a little bit boring, but actually no, let me just put it back on live weather, and then we'll see how it goes the closer we get. Okay, there we go. Okay, live weather is looking quite... oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And flaps are set. Inertia separator can come on. Lights are on. Transponder is on alt, which it is. And I'm gonna go and check the weather. Let's just see here. GPS, next red. Okay, so this is the old GPS, and as you can see, a little bit further to the north, it's not giving us the actual... oh, there's the lightning again. So a little bit further to the north, you'll see there's a little bit of rain, but we'll see how it is when we get there, though it's not looking too hopeful. Okay, heels on the floor, let's go. Takeoff power is set. Okay, instruments are in the green, airspeed is alive, and we're looking for 70 knots again. Okay, we're continuing. Okay, airborne. I'm gonna pitch for about 80-ish knots. And then once we're safely... oh wow, there's a lightning again. A ton of lightning, yes. Okay, everything is still looking good. We are safely above the ground. Can retract those flaps. I don't know what tower is saying, but I do not want to talk to you.
Byron Nagar Tower 5XKKN1 continue for west departure.
What the hell is enable ignoring weather at this airport? I do not know what that means, but it doesn't sound right. Okay, so we're going to turn the autopilot on. We're going to enable flight level change. Nav. And I can set up the flight plan here. Okay, we don't have any particular terrain to be worried about here, which is why I'm confident to take my head off the where we're going. Okay. Oh, okay. So we're going direct to Lima Delta Alpha. And once we are at Lima Delta Alpha, let's just have a look here. Lima Delta Alpha. There we go. Why is it taking me that way? No. Okay, we shall just go towards Lukla direct. What is going on? Okay, I'm gonna go direct. Jeez, I do not like this tower. They told me I can change frequencies. Okay.
Byron Nagar Tower 5 XKKN1 frequency change.
Well, I'm not talking to anyone after this. Something fishy is going on. Let's get back into heading mode. And then we'll go direct to Lukla. Victor November Tango. Lima Kilo. Victor November Lima and Kilo. Okay, if you're just joining the stream, welcome back. We just had some technical difficulties a little bit. I'm gonna go into nav mode. But the sim is back and running with our beautiful livery here. The Summit Tour. I'd definitely jump into this aircraft any single time, any day. Yeah, and I don't like how the weather's looking where we're going, eh? Okay, so I'm just gonna revert to normal. Few clouds. Let's just assume a beautiful day. I don't see why not. Okay, we can just make the viz a little bit more realistic. There we go. And we're gonna put these clouds a little bit high. Yeah, but it's a beautiful day. Oh wow. I can imagine how flying would be in this general area because it just looks beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, put in a few clouds just to make it a little bit less boring. And once we are nice and settled, I'm gonna turn the autopilot off and then we can take this like real men. We won't waste any time. We'll just take it as it comes. We won't have any issues there. Just gonna change the PFD settings here to bring my wind so I can see what the wind is doing. And this is the little inset that I was talking about. Okay, outside air temperature is quite cold. Knowing this area of the world, I don't think it gets this cold. So sea level is going to be about 20, make it 28. So that's a more realistic outside air temperature. Okay, I was looking for the PFD options. Because I want to set this to hectopascals, but I don't see it here, so I'll probably go in the setup. Okay, it's the same story here. It's not working. But what I like about this now is we have a weather page as well. Sorry, we can change it to display weather. And I can actually see what's going on in front of me. So for example, if I take it back to live weather, let's just go to live weather. We should be able to see some of the precip on the weather radar down here. Okay, range is a little bit too high, but you can actually see some of the precip zones. But we're not doing that today. Okay, let's just get those clouds back. We had those clouds at about 9,000. And we had some aerosol in the area as well, about half. Precip not looking too bad. And I'm gonna leave lightning at 0 because the last time we tried this, we got struck by lightning. Literally not more than 20 minutes ago. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little bit more aerosol-y. Otherwise, these are some amazing views. I won't lie, this is quite the place to come out and fly, and I would definitely recommend coming out here. There's a nice view I saw on the wing here. There we go. Okay, so trying to figure out where we are right now. We need to go direct Lima Delta Alpha, which is 236. And we're going direct to the airport, so I feel like we're gonna miss the valley. So I'm gonna go into ADF here, and we're gonna tune 236. So I'm gonna bring this down to 2, and then 3, and then 6. Okay. And under PFD, we're gonna show bearing 1. We're gonna make it ADF. There we go, 236. So 236, you see, is off to the northwest. So I'm gonna fly that heading until we overhead the beacon. And then once we overhead the NDB, I'll know that that's the correct valley to follow. Because if you go down the wrong valley, that's the difference between flying into a mountain and flying into the actual airport. Okay. See how autopilot helps, because you're not stressing too much about flying. Okay, let's just turn the landing lights off and turn the initial separator off. And quickly, let us see. Oh yeah, I was looking for the flight plan. I wanted to set up a VNAV profile. I don't see the VNAV button here though. Okay. I'm not sure how to set it up here, but we'll try it some other time. So you see this little blue arrow down here is what's pointing us towards the beacon. In some aircraft, you'll find a specific gauge that points us towards the beacon. So Lima India is an NDB, which is just it's like a lighthouse. It just says I'm here, and that's all. And the aircraft is the one to figure out where it is, and it's up to you to fly towards that specific beacon. It's beautiful scenes. Looks like we're in the dry season because the river looks like it's drying up. Oh, am I wrong, eh? You know, I didn't like the geography teacher. She used to make a lot of noise. So I did not pass geography as good as I would have wanted to, but it was a pass. Nevertheless, I'll take it. I'll take it any day. Nobody likes a fail, we all like a pass, so I'll take the pass any single day. Righty. Okay, back to our plan of action. That is a little bit too good. So I'm just gonna bring the clouds in a little bit more. Oh, okay, no, I don't like that. That doesn't look good. That's not what I was thinking when I said weather is too good. Okay, 500 foot to go. And then once we overhead the beacon, we will level off. And once again, according to the manual, we should bring the torque, so this here, to about 1520 720, and then ITT should be less than 740 degrees, and we should get about 160 knots true. Okay, so there we go, we're leveling off now. Everything is still looking good. We have oh yeah, the plan of action was to take some secret ingredients to Lukla for the military, because they didn't want to take anything. But this is one of the most conspicuous looking aircraft. It doesn't look like it blends in. It definitely doesn't blend in. So if it does show up at your airport, then yeah, you definitely know that something's not right. Someone is trying to fool someone else. Okay, so let me just pull up the chart or the map that we're on. Okay, so when you're learning how to navigate, you usually do some ground maps. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a basic. So we have the river going and forming a bend somewhere off there. And if I pull up the map here, you'll see that we're actually in this general area, because here's the river and it's flowing pretty much parallel. So what we don't want to do is break off at the first intersection here, or intersection, the first what is it called, distributary. I'm forgetting my geography again. We don't want to pull off here, but we want to pull off on the next one. But if we were following the river, then that would be much easier, because then we can pull off and then follow the river up the valley towards Lukla. But we're flying to the NDB, and once we overhead the NDB, we should see the river flying pretty much direct towards the airfield. Okay, and as you can see, the terrain is rising all the way till 14,000. At some points getting up to 20,000 actually. So it's quite depressing if you don't know what to do. Okay, so that is your ground map basically. Okay, so let's just head back to the aircraft and I will continue the flight. Okay, so there's the river continuing further down that way, and then it should break off and then come back in and then go up the mountain. Okay, I'm just gonna lift these clouds. Okay, now I'll leave them where they are. It's gonna be cold. That's gonna be cheating. Okay, looking at our instruments, we're still going towards our beacon, and once we overhead the beacon, we can fly and follow the river up the valley. Okay, now I learned my lesson the last time because I was quite low when I should have been higher. So I'm gonna set my minimums for about 1,000 foot above the field, 3 miles out. Okay, so that's where I need to be. So 1.5 miles out, I need to be 500 feet above the ground, which will give me a good descent path. Oh, how's it, Ahmed? Explain how to home the NDB. So whenever you're homing any beacon, whenever you're using any beacon, you always tune it first and identify it. So for example, if I come here to ADF DME, I tuned the beacon 236, and then ideally you'd identify it. So I'd come up to my audio panel here and I'd turn the ADF on and I would listen out. But I don't think it's modeled in the sim, so it doesn't work particularly well here. And then after that, literally I just fly whatever fly at the heading that's gonna point the arrow at the top. On the ADF gauge, it's a little bit more it's a little bit different, because then you'll have to calculate your relative bearing, because the ADF gauge shows you a relative bearing to the nose of the aircraft. So for example, if it shows you 030, that means the NDB is 30 degrees to the right of the aircraft, something like that. So you just get your current heading and add, say, 30, and then you calculate the new heading, and that's what you'd fly to home the beacon. But in this case, we have an HSI here, so we have a combined ADF and DI as well, meaning I don't even need to calculate anything. Wherever the needle is pointing, that's the heading I'm going to fly. and that's going to take me straight to the beacon. And of course, as you're going along, you might need to correct for wind, because yeah, this is the real world. But other than that, that's pretty much homing a beacon. It's very, I mean, NDB is one of the easiest things to home, because it's just like a ship homing a lighthouse. It just sees the lighthouse and just turn your ship until you're going straight towards the lighthouse. Okay, now I was still setting my minimums. Okay, so minimums, the airfield is 7,200 feet above the ground. So I want to set barrow and set it to 8,200. Okay, and then I'll know that I'm at a good height. Actually, no, I'll make it 7,900. Negative, make it 8,000. And that's the altitude I should be 5 miles from the airfield. Correction, 1.5 miles, not 5 miles. Though it's taking its sweet time to get up there. And once we are at 1.5 miles, then I'll know I'll just have to fly straight towards the runway. But there's a little bit of an upslope with what's it called? Actually, it's not a little bit. It's one of the most upsloped runways in the world. So there tends to be an illusion that you're coming in a little bit higher, but in this case, a lot higher than I think. So I'm gonna try and fight that. It's been very difficult to fight it, and I usually end up coming in below the field elevation because you're so used to a certain side picture. It actually looks like you're going to crash, or you're going to come in too fast. And I'm gonna carry a little bit more speed than usual. So usually I'd come in about 80 knots. I'm gonna come in about 90 knots. So 90 knots, that should be good. And then when we're rounding out, I will cut the power at the last possible minute. Okay, Ahmed, you're asking which simulator is this? This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I just got it, a few months ago. Actually, no, I got it, I think beginning of this year, and it's been working on and off, but it's a very good sim. In my opinion, it's the best looking sim out of all the sims out there, and that is just a fact. It's not an opinion. Though when it comes to simulating like different aircraft systems, the more complex aircraft, it's not up to the standards of say X-Plane or P3D, because those have been around for a while. So developers have made some aircraft for those simulators that are a little bit more advanced. But I mean, I've actually seen it get better and better over the years. Oh geez, these mountains are so intimidating. Over the months, sorry. There's my minimum set, 8,000 feet. So when we get to 8,000, she'll shout minimums. Anyway, yeah, it's been getting better and better, and hopefully by this time next year we'll have a totally different story of Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it will be one of the top sims. Okay. Now I don't want to descend into the valley just yet, seeing as we need to lose about 5,000 feet. I'm going to wait till we're about 20 miles, and that's when we'll start our descent. And then once we are descending, I'll descend to about 8,500, and just keep that 8,500 going until we are about 1.5 miles from the runway. And once we are 1.5 miles from the runway, we're going straight for the numbers, and that little ridge that I've chosen as my go-no-go position, we'll see how our height is looking. But this airport is quite terrifying, if I'm honest. All the approaches I've done have always been terrifying, because I can only imagine how big the cahoons these guys that fly into these airports are, because they do it pretty much every other day. And I guess it does become like second nature after you do it for a while, but it takes really large cajones to actually fly such an approach into such an airfield. And getting close to the airport, if I stop talking, don't be this what is it called, disillusioned. Don't worry, I'm just concentrating, and I don't want to die again because the last time it was a classic stall spin. As we tried to go around, and literally there's nowhere to go around. If you land too far, that's it. You're just gonna have to slam on the brakes, hope you don't pop a wheel, full reverse if you have any, and call it an evening. Okay, it's actually happened where a few aircraft has overshot or oversped, and they went off the end, which in my opinion is far better than actually landing short, because there's a huge drop off just before the runway. I'll see if I can pull up some pictures online, but there's a huge drop off just before the runway that you do not want to find yourself into or flying into. And it's actually happened where unfortunately some pilots did fly into it was just recently, there was an accident there. They flew into the bottom of the ridge, and well, I think one of the passengers survived, but unfortunately for the flight crew, it wasn't good. Okay, yeah, I did find a picture now. Let me just bring it up and show you what I'm saying. Okay, it looks like the screen is frozen. Let's just try and get that sorted again. Well, my streams have always been plagued by issues. I don't know if it's me or if it's something else. Okay, looks like it's much better now. Right, there we go. So there's the picture of the final approach path, and if you have a look here, you can see there's a huge drop off just below the runway, so you don't want to fly into that. Okay, otherwise let's get back to the sim. You guys have lots of patience, eh? Okay, we just overflew our beacon now as we're trying to sort out this issue. And we're overhead the beacon. There's about 20 miles. I'm going to start a slow descent down to 8,500. And we're following this river to the right. So this valley that we're in, it's going to go to the left just now. And then we'll follow it up, and the airport should be in this general area around here. Okay, we're gonna start a slow descent. Bring my altitude down, vertical speed, bring it down to about half of our airspeed, our ground speed, which is about 900 feet per minute. I don't mind, I'm flying cargo, so I don't have to bring that power back. Sorry, I don't have to descend as slow as if I was flying with passengers. Okay, I hope I'm flying up the right slope. So let's just hit direct enter and see where that puts us. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom out. Oh, we might be actually going down the wrong valley. See what I mean? So we'll go down this valley. And we'll take the next left. So not this one, the next one. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the valley. Now, something I've learned from watching a bunch of missionary aviation or bush flying is that when you're flying out in the mountains, you want to stick to one side of the ridge, else you're going to fly if you need to turn around, you're gonna have a difficult time. Okay, so that's why you want to fly as close to one ridge as possible. Oh, look, there's an airport up here. Is that an airport? Oh yeah, it is. Oh geez. Well, that is an interesting place to fly. Nepal is not the country I want to fly in. It looks like a lot of fun, but a lot of terror as well. Okay, so we're gonna take the next valley to the left here. And I'm already getting very anxious. You can clearly see how high those peaks are. They're well above the the freezing level. So that's it's gonna be very interesting. I'm getting so anxious right now. Because I'm guessing this is the valley we're supposed to follow. Up to the left here. Because the ridge straight ahead in front of us is this ridge here. So you can see this ridge here is this ridge. And then the second ridge to the right here is that ridge. So we're going to follow the valley to the left here. Okay, and I'm gonna turn the autopilot off and let's get down to business. Okay, I can turn the flight director off as well. And just keep the GPS open. Okay. So you want to fly as close to one ridge as possible, just in case you need to turn around. And I'm gonna be using my artificial horizon down here to try and orient myself, because what happens is when you're flying in the mountains, you cannot tell where the horizon is. So you need to know exactly what's going on. And I'm very, very cautious. And I feel like this illusion is going to get me again. But let's cross our fingers. And let's just slow the aircraft down. Because the slower you are, well, the easier it is for you to turn around. Okay, so 8,500. I don't know how these people do it flying in the mountains like this, because it's just so tight. Okay. Okay, this reminds me of that one song, Eminem song. You only have one shot, one opportunity. I don't want to mess this opportunity up. Okay, so we have a lot of space to the right if we need it. We're coming up on 8,800. And we're approaching the airport. So I don't know where the real life go no go position is, but I think it's somewhere around here. Where if they cannot see down the valley, they turn around and head back. But my situation is a little bit different because I can't see down the valley, so there's no excuse. Oh, okay, there's 8,500 feet. We're about 8 miles from the field. And once we are 1.5 miles from the field, I should be at 8,000 feet. Okay, so it's just around the corner here in this general area, and I can just make it out. Oh, am I lying? That's a road. Okay, so I'm gonna fly as close as possible without clipping my wing, and it already feels like my nose is actually way lower than it should be because of the sloping horizon, or the sloping slope, what the hell. So I'm fighting the urge to actually raise that nose so I can peek inside. Okay, let's just start slowing it down. Okay, I can just see the town there. It looks like some buildings there. And I'm gonna start my recording now, because I remember last time I failed to start the recording, and on final I was busy fiddling with the recording, which in all honesty that was a very bad decision. So you should never be playing around with recordings as you're flying. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop my recording now so that when we touch down we can watch that landing again. Okay, things are gonna get very quiet because I wanna make sure I make it this time. I can start to see the houses there. Okay, we're 3 miles from the field. I wanna be 8,000 at 1.5 miles. Okay, we're 3 miles, 8.5. Okay, I wanna peek down into the valley. Jeez, this is so intimidating. Okay, watch your speed. Prop full forward. Okay, I see the runway. Okay, I'm gonna start configuring. Okay, there's 1.5. I feel high, but I'm just gonna keep going. Let's go full flap. Why are we climbing to the field? Nope. I don't like this one bit. Okay, the field is 7,200. Why is my altitude not working out? Okay. Somehow we managed to make it out. I don't think we'll have space to turn around here. Okay, there's the field. Okay, I'm just gonna make it a steep turn, and as long as I keep it coordinated, everything should be alright. Okay, there's the runway again. This feels a lot better. I don't know why 7,200 on final wasn't giving me, correction, 9,000, 8,000 on final wasn't giving me the right height. Because I can't be climbing towards the field. That is definitely wrong. Okay, this looks much better. Unless I made a mistake and I read 7,000 as 9,000. Okay, we are committed, no going around now. And we are still climbing to the field. Ooh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I would like to welcome you to Lukla Tenzin Airport. It's just quite a tight turn. Wow, that was the tensest I've ever been. And I think I know what went wrong. I read 9,200 as 7,200, which is why 8.5 I was still climbing towards the field. Actually, on final there, we were still climbing towards the airfield as well. But I quickly noticed that. But by the time I noticed on final, the second time, we were well past going around. Like we were well committed. Oh geez, she doesn't want to turn. Okay. Looks like this lady's told me to park here. Okay, let us quickly watch that replay because that was one hell of a replay. Let us see here quickly. Yeah, so you see we're even climbing all the way down towards the airfield. So it's not bad. It's not perfect as well. I definitely need to do it a little bit more. But let's check that replay out. Okay, I'm gonna detach myself from the plane and run to the airfield. Yeah, so I should have been at 10,000 instead of 9,000, which is a very bad oversight for me. Okay, let's just wait for her to come in here by the airfield. Jeez, why is it moving so fast? Okay, looks like we overshot the airport. There we go. Okay, there comes the aircraft. Oh. Okay, so you can see we went around. Where are we? But this place is so terrifying. Okay, let me just try and get us closer to final. Okay, so you can see we're actually climbing, which is not what you want to be doing on on final. So that uphill got me again. Okay, so there she comes. So it might look like we're descending, but we're actually climbing. Ooh. I'd call that a successful landing if I ever saw one. Okay, I want to see the landing gear view. Okay, let's go. Where's the landing gear view? There we go. Oh, actually, yeah, it was a greaser, eh? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I would like to welcome you to Lukla Airport. And for all of you that have joined me through thick and thin, through when the sim crashed up to now, actually we parked it in a very precarious position. Let's just put up a little bit closer. Just follow that, just so you're not being that guy. I'm just gonna pull a reverse as well. See if we can pull a little bit backwards. There we go. Alrighty. I mean, that's illegal. Don't do that. But just to get the point across. Anyway, let's shut this baby down. So all the lights are off. Turn the avionics off first. And then we're going to feather the prop. Flaps can come up. And then we can bring that mixture all the way back. Alrighty. And we're done. Can turn the master switch off here. Everything is off. Nav, beacon, lights can come off. And yes. So if you came here looking for a crash, this hasn't been the stream for you. I was a little bit more prepared this time around, and I'm actually very happy that we actually made it in one piece. Because the last time, if you remember what happened the last stream, it was ridiculous. Okay. Alright. So I'm just going to take a screenshot for the thumbnail, and we're good to go. I'll raise it a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so once again, thank you guys for watching. If you like these things, just like, share, subscribe. I'll be doing another stream tomorrow night, and I would like you guys to leave in the comments what you'd like to see, whether you like to see proper airline operations, though I'm not an airline pilot, but or you'd like some classic bush flying, try and land a Piper Cub in someone's compound or someone's garden or something like that. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Well, enjoy your evenings. Bye bye.